What's up, guys? I'm sitting out here in the rabbit tree, and I wanted to make this video about getting two female rabbits to stop fighting, because we just had to deal with that. Get down. And it was really not a pleasant experience. So basically, we adopted a new female rabbit from a friend who they just couldn't take care of her anymore. So we're like, okay, yeah, we'll take her. She's 2 years old, about the same age as our other breeders, so it'd work. But she was a house rabbit, so we were trying to take it slow with her, introduce her slowly. And so we put her out in this tractor back here, and we watched, and her and the buck, they started laying next to each other, chasing each other around. He would run around the outside, and they would just, they were instantly connected. They instantly loved each other, and that was awesome. But our other female, Beauty, every time she would go over by her, they would start clawing at each other through the fence, trying to attack each other. They would just get pissed off. And like, if you've ever seen rabbits fight, it's not pretty. There's hair pulling, there's scratching. They latch onto each other, so every time we would try to let Choo Choo out with her, they would get into a big fight. There would be hair pulling everywhere, and it was all we could do just to separate them. So we were getting worried, and we're like, well, maybe they just need a little more time, they need more supervision, they just, we'll just keep them separated for a little bit longer. But more than a week went on, and it was still going on. Like, they were just not happy with each other. Choo Choo got along with everyone else. So I started doing some research. I started doing a bunch of research. I was looking up everything, and there's not a lot on this subject, because everything I looked at said, no, do not ever put two female rabbits in together. Two adult, intact female does. They cannot be put in together unless they were raised together. Well, that was not good news. So I kept digging farther. I was reading articles. I was reading a bunch of different things, and finally I came across this article. It was from a rabbit rescue, rabbit fostering, something like that. And they told me step by step what they do to get their does to stop fighting. And I'm like, well, okay, what have I got to lose? I'm gonna try this. If it doesn't work, we'll have to figure something else out. But we really didn't want to give Choo Choo up, because she's back there. She's just this gorgeous gray rabbit, and she's got a really good attitude. So I followed the article. I put both rabbits in the back of my car, because you just want to get them out of their space. They're fighting over territory. Okay, you take them out of their territory. Whatever one is claimed as their own, you don't want the other one there. You don't want to try to put them together there. So yeah, I put them in the back of my car. They started fighting immediately. There was no box, nothing, just back of the car. You could put them on the seat, whatever. Yeah, they started fighting immediately, so I threw a blanket over them. That stopped them. Stopped them long enough. I got in the car, started driving, did loops around the block. There was no cars, so it was perfectly safe. They only started fighting one other time, and so I tapped on the brakes a little bit harder than the normal, just enough to separate them. One of them stumbled forward, that stopped it. They both went to opposite corners. They laid down, and so drove them around a couple more times. They were probably in the car for a total of 20-30 minutes. I brought them home, And then starts step 2. You take them straight from the back of the car into a room. It could be anything, whatever you can do. I took them into the spare room. They had never been in there before. And you need to have a spray bottle ready. So when they start fighting, anytime they start fighting, you spray them in the face. Spray them in the face as many times as you have to until they stop. And you're also yelling a command, like, hey, stop, whatever, just a strong voice command. And after 5-10 minutes of that, like just them getting into it, me spraying them, yelling at them, they separated, because they separate and clean themselves off, and they both went to opposite sides of the room, wouldn't look at each other, wouldn't, nothing. And I expected after all of that they would be scared of me. They weren't. They were coming over to me for attention, for comfort, and it was great, because me and Choo Choo weren't really getting along that well. She would always like stomp at me, and it was bad, but not after that. So anyway, after about, I don't know, probably 15 minutes, one of them tried to go over to the other one. The other one kind of chased them away, and then, vice versa, the other one did that, and all I had to do was yell at them. No spraying, because they weren't actually, like, locked into combat. Yeah, so I thought that went really, really well. It was really good progress for the first day, and, so I kept them separated, kept them inside for that night, and then the second day I took them into the bathroom, which was slightly smaller, which was pretty good amount smaller than the bedroom, and so they would have to be closer to each other. And yeah, they got into a few fights in there. It was nothing too bad. All I had to do was spray them and yell at them, and they backed off. And so again, it was really good progress. So the third day, we brought them back out to their area, but we put them in the tractor. And I think they got into one tiny scuffle. I sprayed them a little bit, but after that, Choo Choo was chasing Beauty. So the new rabbit was chasing our old female, and Beauty had backed off. So it was just Choo Choo chasing Beauty out of her space, and Beauty not fighting back. They weren't locking into that combat. And that's what you want. See, rabbits have this hierarchy, as most animals do. They have to know who's in command. Someone has to be, top rabbit. So, and that's basically how it's been ever since. Like, we let him out and into the whole yard, a couple hours with no supervision. We kept coming out and checking on him. And all that happened was Beauty would get too close to Choo Choo, Choo Choo would chase her away, and that's it. And that's all we've been having for the past, week. There's been no fights, no outbreaks. Everyone knows where they stand. Everyone's super happy. So, it's such a relief. It's such a relief to not have to find Choo Choo a different home, to not have to keep them separated.
She's chewing on an old apple.
Queen rabbit right there. But yeah, all is well here at What the Fluff Rabbitry. So, have a great day, guys. Until next time. Brutus.